This is Ronin 2072, a cyberpunk parkour action game in an open-world Tokyo city. Of course, as you can see, this game is still in the early development stages and not ready to release right now as we speak. The enemies haven't been designed yet, the world is still being made, and the developers are working on Ronin, this game, as well as Suit for Hire at the same time. Suit for Hire was revealed at my gaming expo and is more advanced in development than Ronin, thus will also release before it. I was still on the side in covering this on the channel because of that reason, but the creator just gave me a key to try out the game in its test environment and I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though there isn't much to it yet. It's got a stylish cyberpunk ninja / samurai vibe that I love, and thus I just decided to cover it. The potential is huge and we can truly see it all when watching the game's devlogs. The work that has been put into it is insane, with the saber doing little marks on the ground as he touches the floor, the little parkour moves, and the fighting. At its core, Ronin 2072 is a cyberpunk roguelike based in a neo-Tokyo city called the Layered City, focused on fluid freeform movement and combat. You're a masterless samurai turned assassin, taking on contracts to wipe out the city's impurity. Ronin 2072 is set to fulfill the expectations of any roguelike permadeath, randomized contracts, progression, and more. A difficulty system is also put in place so new players can enjoy the game, while veterans can continue to improve and challenge themselves. You'll be able to loot modifications, abilities, and weapons to aid you in your contracts, and combine different modifications for different playstyles. Ronin cosmetic customization is also coming soon. The open world itself is designed in such a way that it gives you freedom to take on contracts in different ways. Choose to stealth past enemies and only take on your contract, or go in guns blazing, defeating any enemy in your path. The developers have not necessarily made any fleshed out story just yet, but the game takes place in an alternative dystopian Japan in the year of 2072. The main character used to be a samurai but now utilizes other techniques to complete bounty contracts that are given out in the underworld, so basically illegal hits for targets, and the developers will most likely release more info on the story and lore over time. But everything that has been said for now is the base of the game, which still sounds pretty exciting if that all actually comes to life. In terms of gameplay mechanics, they're actually going into heavy game design changes like adding procedural generation and more, but in the current phase of the game they have what is called a seed system that uses a seed to randomize where the player spawns in the city, also where enemies spawn, where the tree bounty spawns, which by the way, to complete the game you have to take on these 3 contracts, and how every single item spawn too, and more. The player will be able to pick up weapons like a handgun, assault rifle, SMG, grenades, and more. There is a ton of weapons planned that will be causing chaos along with your blade by your side. They plan on adding more once they get back into full production on the game to make it more exciting. Right now they're working more on Suit for Hire, which again is set to release before Ronin. Players will also be able to loot modifications that change the way their movement and weapons work alongside abilities. Max 2 can be used at a time. Things like grappling hooks, time slowdown, and more. There is still a lot that they want to add in that we haven't seen yet, especially with the change to procedurally generated cities and such, that will completely change the whole mood of this Tokyo city. They also might even make the grappling hook a normal mechanic that the player can use, and it'll function similarly to Pathfinder's grapple hook from Apex Legends. Of course, there's also other mechanics the player can do like wall running, sliding, and more. In terms of sword combat, they're still figuring that part out as to what direction they want to take it, so no information on that yet. For now, I'm pretty excited to see where this game will go in the future, and make sure you guys let me know too if you find this interesting by either liking or disliking. Make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for more gaming news on upcoming games just like these. Thanks to Richard Westfall, Bruce Rain 236, Thunderbeard, Kianzo Fagari, Rickno23, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Space Beer Gaming, and Rash Singbati for being a master member on the channel. You can become a Survivor member for as low as 99 cents only by clicking the join button below. This will support me and the channel as a whole to continue making videos on the games that truly deserve it.